Breaking news now out of Washington. The U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that Alabama's Republican-drawn congressional map diluted the power of black voters.
This ruling actually came as a surprise to advocates who feared the case would be used to further undermine the Voting Rights Act. Justices Roberts and Kavanaugh actually joined the three liberal justices in this 5-4 ruling. NBC News legal analyst Danny Cevallos joins us now on set. Danny, this case, Allen v. Mulligan, walk us through what was at stake here and kind of break down the two different parts. What does this mean specifically for voters, black voters in Alabama, and what does it mean big picture for the Voting Rights Act?
For many years, the test to challenge whether or not a voting map or redistricting violated the law was whether or not there was a discriminatory intent. You couldn't just use a discriminatory impact. And the rationale was if you only test this inequity by a discriminatory impact, then potentially you could challenge every single voting situation, or voting map drawing, every single redistricting, simply based on a discriminatory impact. So the courts came up with a test that they now apply, which is a three-part test. Number one, you have to show that you have a large group of a minority, whatever it may be. Number two, you have to show, and this is interesting, that that large group, that minority group, votes similarly. And then thirdly, you have to show that there is a white group in the area that also votes similarly. So that is the test that needs to be applied. So it's not just strictly, is there a discriminatory effect, but you have to show something more than that. And in this case, rather as a surprise, the Supreme Court concluded that they did meet that standard, or more precisely, that the district court, the lower court's decision that that test was met, was upheld by the Supreme Court.
So now what does this require of the state of Alabama to do?
Alabama will have to redraw its map, and it serves as a warning to other states who may have similarly situated geographic distributions of residents. If you have a very, very diverse state, I imagine maybe even the New York City area, where I don't know that you could show that similar groups of minorities all vote similarly. You may be able to do that in Alabama. I don't know. That's a little beyond my ken. But apparently in Alabama, the challengers were able to show that, and the district court determined that they did, that they met that standard of showing that a minority group voted in a similar fashion, and that the white group there also voted in a similar fashion, and the twain did not meet, as they say. So, test met, and similarly situated geographic areas of people in other states can use this as a signal going forward.
And before we let you go, Danny, what do you make of the fact that you have these two conservative justices, Chief Justice Roberts, Justice Kavanaugh, siding with the liberal justices here?
Well, I think all we can say is that it's a surprise, but I can say that Justice Roberts is now really the centrist of the group, although people don't really think of him that way. So I'm not as surprised that he might go in an unexpected way than, say, Justice Kavanaugh. That's certainly more of a surprise. But Justice Roberts, he is the swing vote. He's the guy in the middle now.
All right. Kennedy. All right. Thank you so much, Danny Cevallos. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Danny.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.